Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Safari Mack Explores North America. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed your time in the southwestern region or the desert lands of North America. Personally, I haven't, but that's okay because after this episode, we will be leaving the southwestern region and heading over to the Pacific coast. But today we conclude our time in the southwestern region in the state of Nevada, or the Silver State, where we're not going to Vegas. Instead, we're looking for one of the most deadliest and iconic of animals in the American desert lands. I'm talking about the western diamondback rattlesnake, otherwise known by its Latin name of Crotalus atrox. But before we begin, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay tuned in for special content. Check out my Facebook page for special conservation projects and tips, as well as updates from projects all over the world. And finally, if you have a question about animals, or if there's an animal that you would like me to do in the future, feel free to send me an email, which you will find the link to down in the description below. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's slither. As always, let's start off with its family and its evolution, which may surprise you a bit. See, as we know, rattlesnakes are part of the, snake family. But believe it or not, snakes actually share a cousin in their branch of the reptilian family tree. Lizards. That's right. Lizards and snakes are actually related. They're what you call squamates. That's spelled Squamates. But now, how is this possible? Well, you gotta look at their ancestry. 128 million years ago, in the Cretaceous period, it was said that the earliest snake and lizard ancestors were small, elongated lizards that were a lot like snakes but had small body limbs. Now, of course, as time passed, they would lose this feature altogether, and just eventually snakes would just become the animals that we know today. Now, it's thought that their Asian ancestor may have that the ancestor of rattlesnakes originated from Asia around 22 million years ago. But what we can for sure tell you is that the earliest ancestors of modern-day rattlesnakes were thought to have originated in the Sierra Madre Occidental region of Mexico around 12 million to 14 million years ago. Now, rattlesnakes are what you call pit vipers. They're part of this family, which allows them to have a special kind of feature that gives them their dangerous venomous ability. But from Canada to almost all over the U.S. to New Mexico, even down into Argentina, there are said to be around 36 different species of rattlesnakes. But today, we're just going to be focusing on the western diamondback. Now, as you could guess, because we're in the state of Nevada, they would favor the desert regions. But here, these rocks and mountainous regions can give them excellent protection from predators such as coyotes, birds of prey, and of course, as you learned in my previous episode, roadrunners, especially when they're offspring. But they also will favor prairies, grass, marsh regions, desert, and then of course forests. Now, but generally, one thing that you should keep in mind, they would prefer to live in areas that are around between 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but they can tolerate temperatures as low as 4 degrees Fahrenheit before they give in to hypothermia. Now, of the two species of diamondback rattlesnakes here in the U.S., the eastern diamondback is really also known as Crotalus adamantus. It is the longest, where they're known to get 5 to 6 feet length, but they've been known to get to 7 feet, while the largest was found at 8 feet long. And now, the western diamondback, our animal today, is generally around 4 to 6 feet, where that can be their maximum length. Now, during the months of October and early March, these guys are highly inactive. Instead, they're actually considered to be hibernating in mountainous regions where they will curl up not just alone, but they will curl up with hundreds, even thousands of other rattlesnakes in the area. So here they kind of get together, and in a sense, they're not eating a lot of food like other animals, how they eat a lot of food just to bulk up and then go to sleep. That's not quite what it means. For reptiles, colder temperatures just means their bodies slow down. Whereas if they were in a much warmer climate, all of a sudden their energy just perks right back up. That's what it means to be a reptile or a cold-blooded animal, or what we also know as an ectotherm. So now, unlike most other rattlesnakes, unlike other snake species, these guys actually, almost all rattlesnake species are known to give birth to live young, where the mom usually carries her babies for around 6 to 7 months, and then she can give birth to well over a dozen babies. Now, they usually will stay with their mother for at least a few hours before they have to go off on their own forever to find their own prey. And I would just like to give you a very fair warning. Just because they're babies, do not take them lightly for granted. Even at the infant stage, these creatures are well equipped with their dangerous venom. So, even babies are killers. So, I'm just giving you the biggest heads up, watch out. Let's move on to their diet. Being snakes, they are carnivorous. Of course, with their venom, they can make short work of prairie dogs, gophers, ground squirrels, chipmunks, and other different kinds of smaller mammals. Now, they will also catch birds if they're in reach, but studies have concluded that 94% of their diet is small mammals. How do they do this? How do they hunt, though? They can't really rely on their eyesight because most snakes have really bad eyesight. Instead, with this picture here, you can see that special heat-sensitive organs inside the rattlesnake's head allows them to sense out the body heat and pinpoint exactly where their prey is, even under the cover of complete darkness. With their heat sensitivity, you could see them immediately, and then boom, they're gone. But there's more ways of how they hunt. These guys, I would like to think of these guys as true original home invaders because they have actually been known to sneak into prey's burrows and attack them from inside. Now, of course, as we know, as I've said already, you need to take extreme care around these animals. Their venom is a definite kill switch. How exactly does it work, though? I'm afraid I can't really explain it to you right now because of the time, but instead I would like to invite you to a special video that is from YouTube channel's BrightSide, where they will be able to explain to you exactly how different kinds of venom actually work and destroy the body. Now, of course, it's dangerous, but it is an interesting topic, and it's something that you need to be aware of, especially if, God forbid, that you ever get yourself bitten by one of these potentially dangerous animals. Finally, let us end our video today with their influence in Native American cultures. Now, according to nativelanguages.org, rattlesnakes are associated by many with rain by different American tribes because of their resemblance to the black coiling storm clouds and the thunderous rattle of lightning strikes. Sadly, of course, though, just like today, these guys have been viewed very negatively, as they were thought to have been sent as a punishment from angry witches or Native American witchcraft. So some of these tribes include the Pueblo tribes, the Chippewa, and even the Zuni. All see these guys as omens and as evil bad luck, or as punishment for our arrogance. They were even thought to have been the original ones to bring death into the world. Of course, apart from Native American cultures, the modern culture also shows rattlesnakes in a negative fashion. More specifically, one of my favorite characters, Rattlesnake Jake from Nickelodeon's film Rango. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's all the time I have for today's episode, so be sure to join me next weekend with part 2 of the rattlesnake. And if you don't like rattlesnakes, you can wait until the following week. I won't hold it against you, but until next week, this is Safari Mack, I'll see you all out there.